A really interesting day today, all about wrist hinge. I gave two players two completely different wrist angles to practice in the takeaway. This is why. One player had a golf swing which put the club too far behind the body and stopped him from swinging any further than this. So we needed to encourage him to get the wrist angles and the arms more disconnected from the body. So I wanted him to swing the golf club up and down with his wrists. This is called we call this the 90-degree angle, and I also then wanted him to practice lifting his arms up and away from his body so he can now encourage himself to create more height at the top of the backswing, which will give him a better angle of attack down into the golf ball, because often this sort of swing comes into the ball super shallow, really easy to kind of fat and thin the ball. But from more height, we're going to be able to create more speed, a better angle of attack for potentially more distance as well. The second play, we actually made quite a significant grip change where his hand was super strong, particularly the trail hand was super strong. So naturally, he brought his wrist angle more behind his body as well. But with him, we moved the golf grip back to what would be a more neutral setup position, showing two knuckles on both left and right hands. And I wanted him to learn and practice the correct wrist hinge, or the perfect wrist hinge, or the textbook wrist hinge. So if we call this that 0-degree angle, this is the 90-degree angle. We want to get him up to that 45-degree angle. So then when he comes into his takeaway position, he's able to see the shaft angle pointing down the target line, the face angle with the leading edge parallel to his spine angle, the trail arm bent into his rib cage, and then from here he can rotate to the top of the backswing and then keep the club more on plane to release it correctly, because one of his main questions after understanding a little bit more about the wrist hinges, how do I release it? Because he's been had such a strong grip and closed club face, he would often come through then with this chicken wing to be able to help him control that straighter face. So we also need to learn how to release the golf club. So today, two completely different golf swings, two completely different levels of player, two very similar faults with the golf club going too far behind the body, but two very different fixes.